Welcome to Speak Unstoppable. I'm Maria.
And I'm John. Here, we help you speak English with confidence in real life.
So relax, listen, and just enjoy the conversation.
Because here, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep speaking.
Let's begin.
Okay, I want you to think about something for a second.
Okay.
How many years have you been studying English?
Honestly, for me, it was years. Many years.
Right. Now think about this. In all those years, how many hours total did you actually spend speaking English? Out loud. In a real conversation.
Oh, that's a very different number.
Much smaller, right?
Much smaller.
And here's the question that should bother you. You spent years, thousands of hours, studying grammar rules, memorizing word lists, doing exercises in a book. And after all of that, when someone actually speaks to you in English, you still freeze.
Yes.
Why? What went wrong?
I always thought it was me. Like, maybe I'm just not good at this.
That's what almost everyone thinks. But what if it wasn't you at all? What if the way you were taught was the actual problem?
Oh.
Today, we're going to talk about that. The way most of us were taught English, and why that way, for so many people, just doesn't lead to speaking.
Stay with us. This one might make you a little angry. But by the end, it's going to make you feel free. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Unstoppable, the podcast that helps you speak English with confidence through real, honest conversations. I'm Maria.
And I'm John. So happy you're here with us today. This episode is for B1 to B2 learners. Intermediate to upper intermediate English.
How are you feeling today, John?
Honestly, a little fired up. This topic, it touches something personal for me.
Same before we start. Thank you. Genuinely, thank you for choosing to learn English with us today.
Okay, let's get into it. Maria, let me ask you something. When you were in school learning English, what did most of your classes look like?
Oh, easy. Grammar, verb tenses. Fill in the blank. Memorize this list of words for Friday's test.
And how much speaking?
Almost none. Maybe once a month, the teacher would ask 1 or 2 students to read a sentence out loud.
Read, not speak.
Right. Read something already written. Not create something new. Not respond to a real question.
And how did you feel when the test came?
If it was grammar? Confident. I knew the rules. I could explain when to use the present perfect.
And if someone walked up to you and just started a real conversation?
Panic. Complete panic.
And here's the strange part. You passed the tests, year after year. Good grades, maybe even excellent grades.
Yes.
But the test didn't measure the thing you actually needed.
It measured knowledge about English, not the ability to use English.
Exactly. And for years, you were told, if your grades are good, you're good at English. So when you couldn't speak, what did you think?
I thought something was wrong with me, because the system said I should be good. But I wasn't.
And that feeling? That's what we're talking about today. Maybe this is you. You have years of English education, maybe even excellent grades, but put in front of a real conversation, you freeze. And you've been blaming yourself for it. Maybe you know this feeling too. Okay, so here's a question. Why does school English look the way it does? Grammar, lists, tests, why this way?
I never really thought about it. It's just how school is.
Right, we never question it because it's everywhere, every country, every school. It feels normal, like it's just how learning works.
But
But think about it from a different angle. A school has 30, 40, sometimes more students in one class. One teacher. Limited time. How do you check if 30 students learned something?
a test. Written, same questions for everyone.
Right. And a written test is easy to grade, easy to compare, easy to give a number. A speaking test for 30 students, one at a time, properly, that takes enormous time.
Oh, so it's not about what's best for learning. It's about what's possible to manage.
Exactly. The system wasn't built around the question, how do humans actually learn to speak a language? It was built around the question, how do we teach and test a large group of people efficiently?
Efficiently. This means in a way that saves time and effort, even if it's not the best way.
And those two things, efficient for the system and effective for the learner, they're not the same thing. Sometimes they're almost opposite.
So the system isn't evil. It's just built for a different goal than the one we actually need.
Right. Nobody sat down and said, let's make sure people can't speak English. But the result, for millions of people, ended up being exactly that.
Because grammar and vocabulary are easy to test, and speaking confidence isn't.
And here's the thing. If you spend years in a system that rewards knowledge about a language, you naturally become very good at knowledge about the language.
Verb tenses, spelling, grammar rules, I can explain all of it.
But you become very weak at the actual skill. Speaking, because that skill was never really practiced. It was never really tested, so it was never really built.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You can explain a grammar rule perfectly, but you can't have a 2-minute conversation without stopping 5 times.
And that gap between what you know and what you can do, that's not your failure.
It's the system's design. Okay, I want to go deeper into this, because I think this is the most important idea in the whole episode.
Tell me.
There's a difference between knowledge and skill, and most language education completely confuses the two.
Okay. Explain.
Knowledge is information. Facts, rules, you can write it down. You can memorize it. You can recite it.
Like, the past simple is used for completed actions in the past.
Exactly. That's knowledge. You can know that perfectly, and still not be able to use the past simple naturally in a real sentence, in real time, while someone is waiting for your answer.
Because skill is different.
Skill is the ability to do something in real conditions, under time pressure, without stopping to think about the rule.
Give me another example.
Okay, swimming? You can read every book about swimming. You can know the names of every stroke. You can explain the physics of how a body floats.
And if you've never been in water?
You will sink. Immediately. Because knowing about swimming and being able to swim are two completely different things.
Oh, that's such a clear example.
And English is the same. You can know every grammar rule and still sink the moment you're in a real conversation because you were taught knowledge, but you needed skill.
And how do you build a skill?
Repetition. In real conditions. With feedback. Over time,
Not memorizing rules.
memorizing rules can help a little in the beginning, but it's a tiny part of the picture. Most of skill building is just doing the thing again and again. imperfectly, until it becomes natural.
Like a child learning to talk.
Yes, think about it. No child learns their first language by studying grammar tables. No child memorizes verb conjugations before they can ask for water.
They just talk. Badly at first.
Very badly. Mistakes everywhere. And nobody corrects every single mistake immediately, because that would stop the conversation. They just keep talking. And slowly, through thousands of hours of real use, it becomes natural.
And we adults, learning English, we somehow believe we have to do the opposite. Study the rules first. Get them perfect. And only then, speak.
And that order, rules first, speaking later, for most people, the speaking later part never comes. Because perfect never comes.
So the system gave us a huge amount of knowledge.
And almost no skill building.
And then we wonder why, after years, we still freeze.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You've studied grammar books cover to cover. You know more grammar rules than many native speakers could even name. But you still feel like a beginner the moment you have to speak.
Okay, there's something else. Something I think is even bigger than the knowledge versus skill thing.
What is it?
Fear of mistakes. Oh, yes. Think about a typical classroom. A student answers a question, says something with a small grammar mistake. What happens?
The teacher corrects it. Right away. Sometimes in front of everyone.
And how does the student feel?
Embarrassed. A little. Even if the teacher is kind about it.
And this happens again and again. Over years. Hundreds of times. Thousands of times.
And what does a person learn from that? Over time.
They learn mistakes are bad. Mistakes get noticed. Mistakes are embarrassing. Better to say nothing than to say something wrong.
Oh, that's such a heavy realization.
And here's the thing. That lesson, mistakes are dangerous, it gets trained into you so deeply, so repeatedly, that it becomes automatic. Automatic means without thinking. It just runs in the background.
So years later, as an adult, in a real conversation, before you even open your mouth,
That old training activates. Don't speak unless you're sure it's correct. And in a real conversation, you're almost never completely sure. So you stay quiet.
and the silence isn't because you don't know English. It's because somewhere inside you, a much younger version of you is still afraid of being corrected in front of the class.
That's exactly it.
And here's what's so unfair about this. In real life, with real native speakers, mistakes are normal. Completely normal. People say the wrong word, fix it, and move on. All the time. Nobody even notices most of the time.
But the fear you carry doesn't match that reality.
No. The fear matches a classroom from years ago, a classroom that doesn't exist anymore. But the feeling is still there, running, every time you try to speak.
So what do you do with that?
First, just naming it helps. Just understanding, oh, this fear isn't really about right now. It's old. It's from somewhere else. That alone takes away some of its power.
And second?
Second, you have to deliberately, on purpose, practice making mistakes, out loud, and surviving it. Because every time you make a mistake and the world doesn't end, and nobody laughs, and the conversation just continues, that old fear gets a little weaker.
You're retraining something that was trained into you for years.
Exactly. And that takes time. But it's absolutely possible.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You knew the correct sentence in your head, but you didn't say it. Because some part of you was scared of saying it wrong. And so you said nothing. And the moment passed.
Okay, so we've talked about what went wrong. The system tested knowledge, not skill, and it trained a fear of mistakes into us. So now, what do we actually do?
Right. Because understanding the problem is good. But you came here for something practical.
First thing, flip the order. For years, the order was study rules, then maybe speak someday. We flip it. Speak first, in small, low-pressure ways, and let the rules come from the speaking, not the other way around.
Low pressure. This means a situation where it's okay if you make a mistake. Nothing bad happens.
Right. Talking to yourself in English. At home, alone, recording a voice note in English, and listening back. Having a short, simple conversation with a language partner online. These are low pressure. Nobody is grading you.
Second thing?
Stop treating mistakes as failures. Start treating them as data. Data means information. Useful information.
How do you mean?
When you make a mistake while speaking, and someone understands you anyway, that's actually useful information. It tells you, okay, that mistake didn't break the communication. Good to know. When you make a mistake and someone doesn't understand, also useful. Now you know exactly what to fix.
So every mistake is feedback, not judgment.
Exactly. The classroom trained you to hear judgment. We're retraining you to hear feedback.
Third thing?
Build the habit of daily output. Output means producing English. Speaking it. Writing it. Not just reading or listening.
Because for years, most of your English contact was input. Reading textbooks, listening to recordings, watching videos.
And input is useful. But input alone doesn't build the speaking muscle. Only output does. Only actually producing English again and again builds that.
Even just 2 minutes a day, talking to yourself, describing your day out loud in English.
It feels small, but it's doing something the classroom never did for you. It's exercising the actual skill, not the knowledge about the skill. The skill itself.
Fourth thing, and I think this is the emotional one.
Go ahead.
Forgive your younger self. And forgive the system. Not because the system was right. It wasn't. But because carrying anger about it doesn't help you now.
That's true.
The years you spent memorizing lists, they weren't wasted exactly. You do have knowledge. That knowledge is still useful. It's just not the whole picture. And now, you know what was missing.
And now that you know, you can fill that gap. Starting today. Not by going back and redoing everything, just by adding the missing piece. Speaking. Real, regular, imperfect speaking.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You realized, maybe for the first time, that the problem was never your intelligence, or your effort, or your ability. It was just that nobody ever showed you the missing piece. And now, someone has.
Can I share something personal?
Please.
For a long time, I felt embarrassed about my English. Even though I had studied it for years, Even though I had good grades, I felt like a fraud somehow, like I was pretending to know something I didn't really know.
Fraud. This means someone who pretends to be something they're not.
Yes, and that feeling followed me for a long time. Until I started thinking about it the way we talked about today. I didn't fail English. I was given the wrong tool for the job, like being handed a hammer and being told to use it to write a letter.
You can be very, very good with that hammer, but it's never going to write the letter.
Exactly. And once I understood that, the shame started to disappear. Because it wasn't about me not being good enough. It was about finally having the right tool. Speaking practice. Real conversation. Comfortable with mistakes.
And the moment you pick up the right tool, even if you've never used it before, even if you're clumsy with it at first, progress starts. Real progress. Fast progress, actually, because all that knowledge you already have, it's there, waiting. It just needed the speaking practice to connect to it.
So, if you've been carrying years of frustration about your English, I want you to hear this. It was never your fault. And it's not too late. The missing piece is simple. And it's something you can start today.
Remember this. You don't need a new brain. You need a new method. Say it again. You don't need a new brain. You need a new method. Write that down. And the next time you feel embarrassed about your English, read it. Okay, everyone, let's slow down now. Word tour time. Key words from today. Ready?
Ready.
Word 1. Efficient. This means doing something in a way that saves time and effort. Not always the best way. Just the fastest, easiest way to manage. Example 1. Written tests are efficient for schools because one teacher can check 30 papers quickly. Example 2. The most efficient method isn't always the most effective one for actual learning. Efficient and effective are not the same thing. Know the difference. And choose effective, even when it's slower.
Word 2. Skill. This means the ability to actually do something, built through practice and repetition, not through memorizing information about it. Example 1. Knowing the grammar rule is knowledge. Using it naturally in conversation is skill. Example 2. You can read about swimming for years, but skill only comes from getting in the water. Skill is built by doing, again and again, imperfectly, until it becomes natural.
Word 3. Automatic. This means happening without thinking. Running in the background without your permission. Example 1. After years of being corrected in class, the fear of mistakes became automatic. It activated before he even spoke. Example 2. Negative self-talk often becomes automatic. You hear it before you even notice it started. Notice what runs automatically in your mind. Old training can be retrained. But first, you have to see it.
Word 4. Low pressure. This means a situation where it's okay if things go wrong. Nothing serious happens. No grades. No judgment. Example 1. Talking to yourself at home is a low-pressure way to practice speaking English. Example 2. Start with low-pressure conversations before high-pressure ones, like job interviews. Build the habit somewhere safe first.
Word 5. Data. In this context, this means information you can learn from, not a judgment of you as a person. Example 1. When she made a mistake and was still understood, she treated it as data. Useful information, not a failure. Example 2. Every mistake is data. It tells you exactly what to work on next. Mistakes are not verdicts. They are directions.
Word 6. Output. This means producing language, speaking it or writing it. The opposite of just reading or listening. Example 1. He had years of input, reading and listening, but almost no output, speaking or writing. Example 2. 2 minutes of daily output, even talking to yourself, builds the speaking muscle that input alone cannot build. Input fills the tank. Output is what moves the car. You need both. But most people only ever did one.
Word 7. Fraud. This means someone who pretends to be something they're not. A feeling of being a fake, even if you're not. Example 1. Despite years of study, she felt like a fraud every time someone praised her English. Example 2. That feeling of being a fraud often comes from being judged by the wrong measure, not from actually lacking ability. If you feel like a fraud, check the measure first. Sometimes the problem isn't you. It's the ruler.
Okay, practical time. One thing. Just one.
What is it?
Today, you're going to do something that probably feels strange. You're going to talk to yourself. Out loud. In English. For 2 minutes.
2 minutes. That's it.
That's it. Topic doesn't matter. What you did today. What you're planning tomorrow. What you think about something. Anything.
And the rule is, don't stop for mistakes. If you say something wrong, just keep going. Don't go back. Don't correct yourself perfectly. Just continue.
Because that, right there, is the missing piece. Output. Low pressure. Tolerance for mistakes. All 3 in one tiny exercise.
And here is your sentence template for today. Practice saying this before you start. I might make mistakes. And that's okay. I'm building a skill, not taking a test.
Say it now. Out loud.
I might make mistakes. And that's okay. I'm building a skill, not taking a test.
Again. Slowly.
I might make mistakes. And that's okay. I'm building a skill, not taking a test.
Say that. And then talk for 2 minutes. Today, that's the whole assignment.
Okay, everyone. Comment challenge time.
This week's question. Looking back at how you were taught English, what's one thing you wish had been different? Write it in the comments. In English. Even just 1 or 2 sentences.
Because so many of us share the exact same story, and reading each other's experiences, it helps. It reminds you, you're not alone in this, and it was never your fault.
We read every single comment. Every one.
If this episode helped you today, please give it a like. It really helps more people find us. And subscribe to Speak Unstoppable if you haven't yet. New episodes every day. Real conversations. Real English. Real life.
Thank you for being here today. You showed up. And maybe today, for the first time, you understand that the gap you've been feeling, it has a name. And a solution. And it starts with one small thing. Speaking today.
You don't need a new brain.
You need a new method.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.